NFHS Network. Right here, state semifinal, game 2. As the Sinton Pirates will square off against the Rusk Eagles. Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you again for game 2. Game 1, Coach, it saw Pleasant Grove take care of business as they defeated Stephenville by a score of 13-0. Pleasant Grove came out hot. They put up 4 in the bottom of the first and really never looked back after that.
Yeah, it was just a game where they dominated from the get-go. Unfortunate that Stephenville had trouble throwing strikes, and they generated a lot of offense for their opponent. But you can't take anything away from Pleasant Grove. They got hits when they needed them. They got hits with runners on base and drove in some runs and got ahead early. And you can't say enough about the job their pitching staff did with getting up there and commanding the strike zone and getting ahead and staying in command of the game the whole game.
Well, we got a good one right here. It's going to be 2 pitchers that are absolutely dominant, going to go at each other. We're going to start off. Starting lineups will be the visiting team, the Rusk Eagles, is who we'll start with this afternoon, and they are coached by Ross McMurray. Coach McMurray's got his team all ready to go. Their lineup is set. Leading it off will be, hold on one second, I'm going to get you changed up right here. There we go, Rusk Eagles. They're going to be the visiting team this afternoon. Rusk Eagles are going to be led off by the left fielder, number 12, Will Dixon. In the 2-hole, Bryce Leonard will be in center field. 3-hole, Landon Gates will be the shortstop. In the 4-hole, Wade Williams will be at third base. In the 5-hole, J.D. Thompson will be on the mound. We'll talk about him as we continue to go here. Terrence Sunday will be at first base. Brett Rawlinson at second base in the 7-hole. In the 8-hole, Zach Blackman will be the designated hitter. And in the 9-hole, Lane Gilchrist will be the catcher, the designated hitter. Zach Blackman will be hitting for Mason Circle. J.D. Thompson, pretty talented young man for the Rusk Eagles. And, Coach, you see a lot of special ones as they come and go. This young man is committed to go to Vanderbilt University, and his stats are impressive.
Yeah, they're second to none. He's like you said, he's going to Vanderbilt, and so they're known for their pitching staff over there. He leads the state of Texas in strikeouts in all classifications, 1 through 5A, or 1 through 6A, excuse me. But he's 12-1 on the season. He's got 188 strikeouts. He's walked 16 batters, so his strikeout to walk ratio is just unheard of. He's got a .15 ERA, and so he's given up 2 earned runs the entire season. And so, the numbers speak for themselves. It just looks to me like in this ball game we're in for a little bit of a pitcher's duel between these 2 teams, and it's going to be interesting to watch these 2 guys square off against one another.
Well, Rusk again is coached by Coach Ross McMurray. He talked to him a little bit before this. Won a state championship with Coleman-Neal. I butcher that every single time. Coleman-Neal in 2003, and got a special little message from him. He's got a lot of people from Coleman-Neal still that follow this Rusk Eagle program, follow obviously Coach McMurray. A lot of those come to the state tournament every single year. He said they've had a huge impact on all of his life, and obviously his hopes are to make them proud. Good conversation I had with Coach McMurray talking about a lot of his players. And, Coach, I got to tell you, I would imagine that any of them that are listening and any of them here, you've achieved that.
Yeah, they're extremely proud of him. The people of Coleman-Neal and the people of Rusk are extremely proud of him, and he's a guy that is very humble and leaves the credit up to the kids, and he's going to be good for our association.
For the Sinton Pirates, they are the home team this afternoon. A very, very talented program that Coach Adrian Alanis, who's not unfamiliar to Disch-Falk Field, that will go through, has got his lineup. He's got it turned in. Leading it off will be number 4, the center fielder, Renee Galvan. Number 5, the catcher, Rylan Galvan, will be putting on a University of Texas uniform as he is committed to the University of Texas. Number 3, Blake Mitchell will be at shortstop in the 3-hole. He's going to LSU University. Cannon Chester, number 22, in right field. In the 4-hole. In the 5-hole, Daniel Trevino will be at second base. In the 6-hole, Jacquay Stewart will be at first base. In the 6-hole, Braden Brown will be at third. Caden McCoy, the left fielder, in the 8-hole, and Marco Gonzalez will be the designated hitter, and he is going to hit for number 23, Wyatt Viatric, who is going to be on the mound. And he is the yin to the yang of J.D. Thompson. Wyatt Viatric has got his own little tricks up his sleeve. He's 9-1 on the year, 105 strikeouts, so 2 pitchers with over 100 strikeouts and a 1.07 ERA for Wyatt Viatric.
So you got 2 guys here that are, like you said, they don't give up much. You know, you just look at their ERAs. You know, Wyatt's going to LSU University. You know, all these guys. You know, fortunately for Coach Alaniz, is they're a bunch of juniors. You know, and they're all going to be back and play one more year. But they haven't gotten to 32-4 this season because, you know, they don't have good pitching. And both these teams are going to have good pitching. They're going to throw strikes. They're going to get after you, and they're going to make you do something with the bats. And Sinton is got a long tradition of being at the state tournament. Coach Kasprick, Coach Alaniz. Coach Alaniz, we were just looking at his picture on the wall back here and behind us, and so he knows how to win here. And so it'll be interesting to see how, you know, one of the stats that came up to my mind is his pitching staff has 352 Ks on the season as a whole, and so that's just an astronomical number of strikeouts for their pitching staff.
That's a lot, and we talked about J.D. Thompson a minute ago with 188 on his own. He leads all UIL baseball, 1A to 6A. He is number 1 throughout all of it, and it is going to be a pitcher's duel. We saw 13 runs scored in Game 1, Coach. I'm willing to bet that there's not 13 runs scored here in Game 2 or anywhere close to that for that matter. Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you on NFHS Network. Jesse here with us as well on our camera. As it's an honor to be here with you on a Wednesday afternoon baseball. 4 o'clock start time. We're a smidge behind. It's probably going to start around 4:05, 4:06 as you see Wyatt Viatric now walking out to the mound. And we are just about ready for the national anthem. We'll keep it here with you and throw it down for the playing of the national anthem. There we go. National anthem is complete. We are ready for baseball. Game 2, state semifinal matchup, Rusk Eagles versus the Sinton Pirates right here on NFHS Network. Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you for Wednesday afternoon. The winner of this one, Coach, plays Pleasant Grove Hawks tomorrow afternoon for the state championship.
Yep. Winner of this one's going to be in for a battle because Pleasant Grove's got a good baseball team. They swing the bats well, and they run. One thing I noticed about them earlier is that they run the bases extremely well, and so it ought to set itself up for a good state championship game tomorrow night.
On the mound for the Sinton Pirates, we talked about him, Wyatt Viatric. He's going to square off immediately against a very good and very talented Rusk Eagle team led off by Will Dixon, Bryce Leonard, and Landon Gates. Will Dixon is over 350 on the year for the Rusk Eagles. Bryce Leonard, same situation, 351. They are immediately going to go to work against Wyatt Viatric in kind of a 1A, 1B situation as well for Sinton, as the young man sitting at shortstop defeated Cal Allen last week, and that's the sophomore LSU commit, Blake Mitchell.
Yeah, they've got two really talented arms on this team, and like you said, Blake threw last week against Cal Allen in a game that was 2-1. We were down there and going to call it at Whataburger, and it got rained out, and they moved it to Laredo the next couple days later after they graduated. But it's a good problem to have for Coach Alaniz, where you have two guys that are so close together and so competitive that it's just kind of a 1A, 1B, and they both pitch really, really well all season long, and it sets him up for having a good run for here at the state tournament.
Defensively, Sinton's position like this. In the outfield from left to right, Caden McCoy, Renee Galvan, and Cannon Chester. At third, Braden Brown. Shortstop, Blake Mitchell. Second baseman, Daniel Trevino. At first, Jacques Stewart. On the mound, Wyatt Viatric. And then behind the mound, the UT commit, Rylan Galvan.
Coach Alaniz got a special ovation a while ago. He's kind of the buzz up here in the press box. We were talking to Craig Way a while ago, and he remembers Coach Alaniz, and so
got him a no-hitter against Oklahoma back in, I think, 2005.
He said he called that game, and so he's
Craig's called a couple games from this booth.
Yeah, he's called a couple from up here, and he's much better at it than what I am. So.
He's a lot better than you and I put together. He's got a couple more. So
yeah, he's had a lot more practice.
Game 2 of the state semifinals coming up right here. Wyatt Viatric on the mound. He's going to square off against the left fielder, number 12, Will Dixon. Ready to go. First pitch is going to be brought to you by Tony Sacheries right here on the NFHS Network. Viatric, first pitch to Dixon, on the way, hit, grounded towards the third baseman, Brown. He's up with it. Dug out at first base by Jacques Stewart. One pitch, one out here in the top of the first inning.
Good play there by Jacques. It's back in that ball in the turf over there at first base, and digging it out and saving Brandon there. And Brandon tipped his hat to him and told him, thank you for doing that for me. And one pitch, one out.
Brings up Bryce Leonard, the center fielder for Rusk. Viatric's second pitch is up and away, ball one. Yeah, it was a good play by Stewart. Braden Brown just had plenty of time on the two-hopper to him, just in the turf, and Stewart picked it up pretty easily as everything bounces true on the turf.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And, these kids, they hadn't played with the setting kind of in the background, and sometimes your depth perception gets messed up a little bit because of the way the stands are here at this park, and so, sometimes the ball makes it sail or not go like you might thought it would have.
2-0 pitch, fouled off on the left-hand side. 2 balls and 1 strikes now on the batter, Bryce Leonard. Talked about Viatric. He is a LSU commit as a junior. Chance he could pitch on this field at some point.
Yep.
Down the way, 2-1 pitch. Misses outside, 3-1. Bryce Leonard hitting .351 on the year. This is his senior year. 3-1 pitch. It's drilled down the left field line, and it will be fair. He will round first. Leonard is chunking in for second, and he will have a one-out double here in the top of the first inning for the Rusk Eagles.
Good job there by Leonard of seeing that ball get deep on him and just staying inside of it, keeping his hands inside the ball, lining that ball over the top of the third baseman Brown's head and into left field down the line. Great job there by the left fielder of getting over to the ball,
Caden McCoy out there at left.
McCoy and getting over to the ball and getting it cut off and didn't let it get down there in that corner and right around the corner and getting it relayed back into the infield.
Landon Gates now steps into the box. He's hitting .344 on the year. Senior for the Rusk Eagles. Man on second base is Bryce Leonard. Viatric out of the stretch for the first time. First pitch, up high and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
See here, Coach Alne's telling the first baseman to back up a little bit. They're going, with the left-handed hitter up, if they hit a ground ball to the first baseman, they're going to concede.
Bullet hit down the first baseline over the top of the head of the first base dugout. It evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike, and that ball was barreled up right there, Coach.
Yeah, it was hit really, really hard, but just pulled foul a little bit.
Gates, pretty open stance, hands right at about his chest on the left-hand side. Viatric comes set, checks back on Leonard twice, comes back on the inside, misses, 2-1. Excellent crowd here for both of these teams. Sinton, they can pull some baseball.
They do like their baseball in Sinton, Texas. They like their athletics in Sinton, Texas. And wherever they go, they take a crowd. And that was evident last week when we were there at Whataburger waiting for the game to start.
2-1 from Viatric, inside 3-1.
We were told last week there were 7,000 tickets sold for that game between them and Kyle, and we didn't ever get to see the people in the stands, of course, because we got rained out, but it was one heck of a crowd. There was a lot of cars in the parking lot, I'll tell you that.
There was, for sure, and you're right. Sinton loves their baseball, loves their sports. Viatric 3-1. Strike on the outside corner, now full count 3-2. A lot of young men moving on from Sinton to continue their baseball career after their senior year. Payoff pitch hits him in the arm. Landon Gates will be down with a hit by pitch, and something about today, Coach, that these pitchers that are going inside keep hitting right arm, left arm, whatever it is. We had about 7 in the first game, and already here in the top of the first we got 1.
Yeah, the one thing about these hitters is that they're all owning that box, and that's what you have to do at this point, because you're trying to get yourself on base any which way you can, and they're all owning that box, and you're not seeing any of them bail out of the way of a ball inside or anything like that. They're going to take one, what we common say, take one for the team, and so that's what they're going to do.
Wade Williams now steps in, .364 on the year for Wade, junior third baseman. First pitch, a breaking ball, misses just a little bit outside. Galvan tried to frame that one, but home plate umpire Rob Walsh did not give him the call. Umpire crew here, Rob Walsh behind the plate, Servi Blanco down at first, Leonard Lopez at second, and James Russell at third. Strike right on the outside corner, and they actually called a balk. I was wondering if that was a fan called it or an official, but it was the second base official Leonard Lopez who called the balk on Wyatt Viatric.
It's actually the first base umpire. Oh. He's walking there explaining right now.
It was the first base umpire. You're right. Servi Blanco. He is strolling down to Coach Alaniz to have a quick chat with him. So that will be a no pitch. It will be 1 ball and no strikes. The second base umpire is now going to go out there. Coach Alaniz is now going to call time and stroll out to have a conversation with Wyatt Viatric. Blake Mitchell, the shortstop, will also come in, as well as Rylan Galvan. And I would imagine this one is more of a hey, just calm down right here. Make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Come set, obviously, first thing. You sometimes have a tendency to kind of take a little bit too much emphasis on the balk call and maybe take something away from your mindset actually at the plate right here.
Right. And plus, you got the 4-hole hitter up. You got first base open. And so he's probably talking to him about, like we talked about earlier, we don't think there's going to be a lot of runs scored. We may be totally wrong, but it may be a game where it's a low-scoring game. And so, you got to be real careful in the situation in which you are when you're facing 2 strikeout pitchers like both of these teams have, to where it could be a situation where, one inning of giving up a couple of runs could be the difference in the ball game. And so, here we are in this situation here where they got a couple of runners on early, and then it's off from an offensive perspective. This is going to be a situation where getting a hit whenever you have those guys in scoring position is going to be key.
Top of the first inning, 0-0 ball game, but Rusk threatening with runners at second and third. Leonard at third, Gates at second. At the plate is Wade Williams, the third baseman for the Eagles. Viatric set. Pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball. Got him fishing through it. He evens up the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You can just tell here by just looking at the way the infield's playing, they're already drawn in here in the first inning of what type of game Coach Alnish thinks this is going to be. So
Viatric looks at third, 1-1 pitch on the way. It's hit down the first baseline. One will score. Leonard will score. Gates around third. He'll score. Around first is Williams. 2 RBI double for the Rusk Eagles, and they take a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first inning.
Another good piece of hitting there by Wade Williams of staying inside the ball. You can tell they've really worked on staying back and seeing the ball a long time and hitting the ball the other way, getting the barrel to it as quick best they can. And you've seen 2 balls that have been hit really hard going the other way early in this ball game.
J.D. Thompson now steps to the box. Strike right on the outside corner to J.D.
Just like we talked about. You and I said there would be a low-scoring game. What do we know?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
We called 1-0, 2-1. We obviously were wrong. Well, maybe not yet. Viatric's pitch, breaking ball, a good one right there to Thompson. On the outside, no balls and 2 strikes to the pitcher for Rusk.
One thing we're going to watch during the course of this game as it unfolds, you got 2 really, really good catchers behind the plate. Rylan Galvan here for Sinton is obviously going to Texas, a really, really good player, really good defensive catcher, can swing the bat a little bit, and so that's something to watch as it unfolds too.
0-2 to Thompson, fouled right back towards us. It'll stay no balls and 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the first. 2 runs across for Rusk after the 2 RBI single from Wade Williams, plated Bryce Leonard and Landon Gates. Viatric still out of the stretch, works for more the first base side of the rubber. Comes set, little closed in his stance. Breaking ball. Fouled off by J.D. Thompson. It was up around the chest. J.D. got a little bit on it, and it'll stay 0-2.
I think that one got a little piece of Galvan, too. It kind of hopped up and caught him on the forearm or on the wrist or something, but you can kind of tell him, kind of looked down, and I'm sure he had kind words to say to himself.
Yeah, those always feel really good in the first inning. 0-2 to Thompson. Got him. Strike 3 right down the middle. First strikeout of the afternoon for Wyatt Viatric. And there's 2 down. Brings up the first baseman, Terrence Sunday.
Sunday, young man hitting 275 on the season.
Sophomore for the Rusk Eagles. Fairly young team for Rusk. Sunday will be followed by Brett Rawlinson. Open stance for Sunday. Hands down low. Breaking ball stays up. 1 ball and no strikes. Second batter we've seen for Rusk that really has that kind of open front foot stance. We saw it earlier with Landon Gates. Big swing right there from Terrence Sunday. It evens up the count 1-1.
Rusk, a team that defeated Waco La Vega in the bi-district round. In area, they defeated LaGrange. And then China Springs, Orangefield, and Belleville were the next 3, all in 1-game series.
Hit flat out towards center field. Rene Galvan takes about 4 steps to his left, and he's underneath it. And that will end the top of the first. But the Rusk Eagles put 2 across. They leave 1 runner on the 2 RBI single double from Wade Williams. Rusk 2. Sinton coming up in the bottom of the first inning. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
on the mound. One that a lot of people are here to watch, not only from Rusk, but I would imagine there's some college scouts out there that are on watching. J.D. Thompson of the Rusk Eagles. He will step to the 60 foot 6 inches, 188 strikeouts, Coach, in one season. He is 12-1 on the year, only allowed 20 total hits for that matter.
Yeah. Two runs is all he's allowed all season. Earned runs is what he's allowed all season long. And so, here Sinton is already chasing 2. And so, it seems like a tough task, but you are facing a really good offensive lineup from Sinton. But, J.D., a kid that is already committed to go to Vanderbilt, as we said earlier. And so, some of these colleges have kind of gotten left out on this deal. But, he's a kid that obviously relies a lot on the strikeout. And so, it'll be interesting to see how he can command his stuff early in the ball game. If he can get settled in, then it might be a long night for Sinton.
High 80s to low 90s is what the scouting report says. He's got 3 pitches. He leads the state of Texas, 1A through 6A, in strikeouts. J.D. Thompson's going to square off against Rene Galvan, Rylan Galvan, and Blake Mitchell. Defensively for the Rusk Eagles from left to right, it's going to be Will Dixon in left, Bryce Leonard in center. Right field is Mason Circle. Down at third, Wade Williams. At short, Landon Gates. At second, Brett Rawlinson. At first, Terrence Sunday. And behind the plate will be Lane Gilchrist. The lefty, Rylan Galvan, will lead it off for the Sinton Pirates. Breaking ball goes over the top ahead of Rylan Galvan, and it'll be 1 ball and no strikes.
That'll get you woke up right off the bat.
Ball 2 outside, so quickly 2-0 to the leadoff batter for Sinton. There's a strike pumped in on the outside corner. Two balls and 1 strike on the batter, Rene Galvan. 329 on the year for Rene, now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Sure, Coach Alaniz has told his guys, let's be patient. Let's make him get his pitch count up. Let's make him throw as many pitches as he can. Obviously, he's a strikeout guy, so he's going to throw a lot of pitches. And so, sure, it's
ball 4.
Game plan that they've talked about going into this thing.
Leadoff walk for J.D. Thompson. It's only his 17th walk given up on the year, and it's going to bring up Rylan Galvan.
That's one of the things about playing the state tournament, that you're managing your nerves early in the ball game. Once these guys settle into the game, they feel like they're at home, they're pitching in their own park. But here, it's a little bit bigger crowd, obviously. It's a little bit bigger facility that you're playing in. Obviously, you're playing for something much bigger than just a district championship or a by-district championship. And so, there's a lot of things that factor into these young men getting their nerves and being able to calm themselves down a little bit.
Rene Galvan has 16 stolen bases on the year. J.D. Thompson's first pitch to Rylan is a strike, fouled off behind him. Down the third base line, no balls and 1 strike.
Rylan's hitting .412 on the season. He's the guy in their lineup that's got a little thunder in his bat. He's hit 6 home runs. So he's a guy that can really hit the ball in the gap out here and hit it, big ballpark.
Pickoff move over to first. Rene Galvan back in easily. He's got 8 doubles on the year, 28 RBIs, 40 runs scored for Rylan Galvan. So this middle of this, or top part of the lineup right here for Sinton is solid, up and down. They've got a very, very good team. Coach Alaniz, you said, very talented coach down there for the Sinton Pirates. No balls and 1 strike. On the move is Rene Galvan. He'll swipe second easily. Pitch was up and in to Rene Galvan, or Rylan Galvan. It's 1-1 on the batter. Rene Galvan has got his 17th stolen base of the year.
They were going there on first movement, and a lot of times you see that versus a left-hander. And as soon as JD made some movement toward home plate, they were going, and we'll see how that unfolds. If that's something they stick with as the game goes on.
Shortstop Landon Gates working in behind Rene Galvan. Thompson goes to the plate. Strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter, Ryland Galvan. Both of these Galvan brothers, pretty good football players too. Quarterback and running back for the Sinton Pirates.
Yep, saw that up close and personal this year. So
1 ball, 2 strikes from Thompson to Ryland. Fouled off right over the top of our heads. We'll do the 1-2 all over again. Got a good play down there, by the way, by a Sinton fan. One-handed it out of the middle of the air. Second game in a row we've had a good play from a fan. Get them a jersey and sign them up. Get them a scholarship. Thompson comes set, a little bit closed on the front foot. Pitch, breaking ball, hit towards the right center field gap. That's going to be down. Rene Galvan around third. He'll score easily. Ryland around first. He's trucking it. He's going around second. He's going to go for third. Throw comes in. No, it will not. Ryland Galvan, RBI triple. As he drove one to the right field gap, Mason Circle had no opportunity, and it's a 2-1 ball game. What we thought was going to be low scoring, Coach, may not be low scoring at all.
Well, it hadn't shown to be here early in the game, but you never know when these two pitchers get calmed down, defenses get calmed down. But you're facing some really good hitters in both these lineups, and so you can't just always assume it's going to be a pitcher's duel. But you saw the thunder and Ryland's bat right there. You saw the power that he had hitting that ball in the gap to right field. If you're going to get a triple in this ballpark, that's where you got to hit it to get it. And so, it was a good job by him in staying inside the ball. All the balls that we've seen hit up hard up until this point have been balls that have been hit the other way. And so, that's something when you're facing some guys that throw with some velocities that you got to be able to do. So.
The throw in from right field from Circle was overthrown by Brett Rawlinson. Landon Gates smartly ate that one, didn't even try it. Immediately, Blake drives one to the left center field gap. Mitchell around first, and he will have an RBI double. LSU scores UT here in the bottom of the second.
It becomes a situation where both these pitchers are strikeout guys. They get a lot of strikeouts, but when you're facing good hitters, it's still going to revolve back to you being able to spot up your fastball, pitch down in the zone to keep these balls from being hit in the gaps and hitting balls being hit hard. And I think that's when once these pitchers kind of settle down and they start throwing to their spots like they normally do, then they're going to get control of the game. But until then, they may be a little bit amped up and they're missing their spots early and leaving the ball up, and these hitters are doing a good job making them pay for it.
Cannon Chester, the right fielder, junior for Sinton, now comes up. First ball misses up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Chester, another one. He's going to Alabama University.
Chester's a young man, had the big blow last week against Cal Allen, I think.
He did.
To hit a home run to put them ahead 2-1.
Ball gets away from the catcher. Down to third base goes Blake Mitchell. Good job right there of Cannon Chester, motioning down to his base runner down at second base to go to third. Ball just got in between the legs of Lane Gilchrist, and now there's a base runner at third base. No outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-2 ball game. Rusk put 2 on the board in the top of the first. In the bottom of the first, Sinton's put 2 more. They've answered back. Thompson misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. On deck is going to be the second baseman, Daniel Trevino. 3-0 pitch. Got the inside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike.
A lot of these hitters are right up on top of the plate, so they're making these pitches look like they're inside, but that pitch was it was definitely on the plate. We were sitting directly behind them. 3-1
from Thompson. Grounded right back at him, 1 hopper. He'll look the base runner back. Strong throw over to first to Sunday, and first out recorded for J.D. Thompson here in the bottom of the first. Brings up Daniel Trevino. And that one feels like an elephant jumped off your back right now if you're J.D. Thompson.
J.D. Thompson, that's the one you were looking for. You're always looking for the first one and the last one.
That's right.
And there's a bunch in between. So, but sometimes the first one and the last ones are hard ones to get.
Outfield Shady Trevino way to the right center field gap. Pitch up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Down at third base is Blake Mitchell. Caught the inside corner, evens it up 1 ball, 1 strike.
And JD, not a kid that's not afraid to throw inside, and that's a big key when you're facing these hitters that are right on top of the plate.
1-1. Good breaking ball right there from J.D. Thompson. Had Daniel Trevino way out in front of it, and he's now ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes. Out of the windup now. Thompson to the plate for Trevino. Fastball up. Doesn't get him to swing at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mitchell off a third. Got him. Thompson takes down Trevino. Back-to-back outs now for Rusk, and it brings up Jacquay Stewart. Stewart, left-handed swinging first baseman. 4-11 on the year, 14 doubles, 3 triples, 41 RBIs. Try to make it 42 as Blake Mitchell stands down at third base. Center fielder Bryce Leonard shading left center just a little bit for Stewart. That ball's up and in.
You know, last week I know Sinton faced a left-hander from Cow Island. I can't remember the young man's name, but you might remember it. But he faced him last year, so it might have been kind of helped to tune it up for this game, was facing another left-hander.
Ball gets away from Gilchrist. He's going to flip it down. They got him at home, I believe. Yes, they did. J.D. Thompson a little bit late getting there, but Gilchrist did a good job of flipping that ball back to J.D. Thompson at the plate. They threw out Blake Mitchell. 2 runs on the board. The third one erased at home. Adrian Alaniz down having a conversation with the umpire, but it will get nowhere. No runners left on. 2 come across. It's a 2-2 ball game after 1 complete right here from Austin, Texas at Disch Falk Field. You are watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball on the NFHS Network.
Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easy to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Bottom of the first, ends at home plate. J.D. Thompson was able to work out of it as he tagged out Blake Mitchell sliding in. 2 go up for Sinton, so it's almost like this just became a 6-inning game. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Rusk Eagles, 2 runs on 2 hits for the Sinton Pirates.
You know, you can tell there's a little bit more, obviously there's a little bit bigger crowd for this game, and the crowd's into this one a little bit more, and so it's going to be an interesting game right here. Of course, the game didn't get out of hand quite like the other one did early in the ball game, so we're, being knotted up at 2 after 1, we got a heck of a ball game on our hands.
Rusk is going to put Brett Rawlinson, Zach Blackman, and Lane Gilchrist to the plate to lead off here in the top of the 2nd inning.
Justin Lampkin was a young man I was trying to think of from Corpus Christi, Cow Island.
Texas A&M commit Justin Lampkin. You're right.
Pitched a heck of a ball game last week.
And that was really the difference. We saw Blake Mitchell go against Justin Lampkin, and it just became a situation where Lampkin ran out of pitches.
Yeah, he just ran out of pitches and ran out of innings. Got into the 8th inning, they took him out, and so it was a heck of a deal. Going back on that, I never went over the road that Sinton's had to get here, but during the bi-district round, they beat Brazosport 9-3 and 10-0. In the area round, they lost to Bernie in game 1 3-2, and then won 5-1, 2-1. Then they beat Sweeney, Tolosa Midway, and then obviously last week beat Corpus Christi Cow Island in a 1-game series 2-1.
Leading it off here in the top of the 2nd inning, Brett Rawlinson. First pitch is an airmail from Wyatt Viatric. He hit the bull back here. If you've ever seen the movie Bull Durham, 1 ball and no strikes. Rawlinson hitting close to 250 on the year for Rusk. 1-0 pitch, it's flied out towards right field. Cannon Chester to his left, he's calling everybody off. And he's got it. 1 out here in the top of the 2nd. Zach Blackman, the designated hitter, will now step in. He's hitting for the right fielder, Mason Circle.
both these coaches have told their team, get up there and swing the bats and let's be aggressive and get after these guys. And that's what both of them have done so far, and they've done a good job of it.
And, if you get a fastball against a very good pitcher, you might as well take advantage of it. Curveball inside, ball one, and that's kind of what you're seeing right here is they're swinging at that first fastball that they can at least put the barrel on, and worked out pretty well for both of them as it's a 2-2 ball game. That ball's flared off to the right-hand side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sinton threatened with more in the bottom of the first, but J.D. Thompson worked out of it. 1 ball, 1 strike coming up. Ball stays up just a little bit, 2-1. Zach Blackman, followed by Lane Gilchrist, then back to the top of the lineup for Will Dixon. 2-1, breaking ball, stays up 3-1.
Yep. See the temperature on the scoreboard out there is 9 degrees, so it hasn't necessarily cooled off any since we started.
What do you think it is on the turf, though?
Oh, it's probably 100.
3-1, it's flat out. Stewart going over towards his left-hand side, over towards the first base dugout, and tracks it down. Jacques Stewart comes up with a big play. 2 down here in the top of the second inning, and it brings up the 9-hole Lane Gilchrist.
Good job there by Jacques of going over, and he was using his offhand to kind of find the railing of the dugout and got to it, and made that play look really easy.
Lane Gilchrist, the catcher for the Rusk Eagles, in the 9-hole. First pitch from Viatric, just a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. You hear a lot of moans and groans. Sinton is passionate about baseball.
There's a lot of helpers for the umpire. If he needs any help, all he's got to do is turn around and ask.
It's hit towards the left center field gap. Gilchrist is going to have a 2-out single, and it's going to roll the lineup over to the top for Will Dixon. Good job and good hitting right there from Lane Gilchrist. Going to get a courtesy runner for the catcher.
Number 14.
Number 14 would be Camden Hudnall.
Senior outfielder.
Back to the top of the lineup for number 12, Will Dixon. He grounded to the third baseman, Braden Brown. His first at-bat was dug out by Jacques Stewart.
Nowadays, you see a lot of different coaches with a lot of different philosophies on giving signals. And, Coach Allen is kind of old school where he gives the traditional hand signals to signal different things over. But, Coach McMurray's he's a numbers guy. He's got the card, and everybody looks at the card and tells us what we're doing and try to stay on the same page and whatever is easy for your guys.
1 ball and no strikes now to Will Dixon. Misses low and away, 2-0. Kind of a bluff down there at first base from Hudnall. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, top of the second inning, 2-2 ball game. That's a lot of 2s, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Be early in the ball game. On deck, number 16, Bryce Leonard. Had to mix a 16 in there. Pickoff move over to first. Camden back in easily. Still 2 balls and no strikes on the batter, Will Dixon. Dixon's had a pretty good year. .354 on the year coming into this game. 2-0 pitch on the way. Hit towards center field. Rene Galvan comes up, and then has to go back. Dives, but cannot make the play. Coming around third is Hudnall. They'll stop him. Ball goes right off the top of the mound, and probably a good call. Rene Galvan in center lost his footing, got up, tried to dive and make the play, but couldn't get there. And it falls to the turf, comes up, makes a good strong throw to hold Hudnall down at third base. There'll be base runners now on second and third, and it brings up the 2-hole Bryce Leonard.
Rene, it looked like he kind of slipped on his initial first step, and then when he kind of tried to regather himself, he slipped again and actually fell, completely to the ground as he was trying to make a play on the ball. And so, a great job by him regaining his composure and getting himself back up and throwing the ball back to the middle of the infield to a cutoff man where they could hold that runner up at third.
Runners at second and third. Viatric out of the windup. Leonard at the plate. Strike. No balls and 1 strike. Good fastball right there from Wyatt Viatric. Rusk threatening right here. They had the big hit in the first inning from Wade Williams. Leonard. They're going to say it got him. Thought they may say bases are going to be loaded now. Nowhere to put anybody. And Landon Gates, who was hit by a pitch his first at-bat, steps in.
Both these pitchers have a lot of movement on their breaking stuff. And so you see it early. You see a lot of snap and a lot of bite to their breaking stuff. And so
Gilchrist, runner. Camden Hudnall down at third base. And they may make a change right here.
No, I think he's just going to go up and talk to him a little bit. Maybe.
See what we got going here. We had somebody go back in towards the dugout, but see what kind of changes they make. Either way, it's going to be Hudnall down at third, Dixon at second, Bryce Leonard at first base. Viatric will come off.
Mitchell's going to go probably to the mound.
Blake Mitchell is
going into the dugout.
Imagine when you get on the mound, obviously you can't have the arm sleeves and all the other little stuff. He may go grab him a drink, and I would imagine he's going to come back out and go on the mound for the Sinton Pirates.
We'll have a few position changes, and we'll get those to you when we get them.
This may be not Blake Mitchell. Let's see who this is.
It's going to be Braden Brown.
It is going to be the third baseman, Braden Brown. I saw him running in, so Braden Brown will go to the mound. Braden Brown came in their playoff game. See who slides over. He was previously the third baseman. We'll tell you who slides over there. Coach Alanese, here in the win or go home matchup, has basically decided that it is of urgency to get out of this bases loaded jam, Coach.
Yeah, if you don't win the first one, you can't play in the second one. So,
yeah.
So, sometimes you got to have a quick hook. And, the good thing about it is if you do win the game, then obviously the young man, Beatrick, hasn't thrown a lot of pitches, and he'll definitely be on tap to possibly throw in relief tomorrow, if they get that opportunity. And so, he's a guy that they've had confidence in all year long, and I'm sure Coach Alanese he hadn't lost a bit of confidence in him, but he just decided to make a change right here and go to Brown, and obviously a guy he has a lot of confidence in to bring him in this situation. So it must be nice. I never had that, never had that opportunity to have 5 or 6 guys that you just can go to at any point in time, especially in a big game like this. And so it's nice to have that luxury, I guess is a good word to say.
Braden Brown, 7 wins, 1 loss on the year, 75 strikeouts, 1.21 ERA for the big man, the big right-hander for Sinton. Oh, by the way, he's a sophomore.
Yeah. Like we said,
Blake Mitchell, sophomore.
They're really young. They are really young.
I will try to get who is over at third base for you. His back's turned to us right now, and so they can't see the number. But we'll get it to you as soon as we can. But not leading it off now here, first batter that Braden Brown will face will be the shortstop, Landon Gates. Again, Hudnall down at third. Dixon at second. Leonard at first. Landon Gates, the left-handed hitter. Ball 1 up and away. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. 2-2 ball game. Sinton and Rusk.
Daniel Trevino has moved to third base from second.
1 ball, no strike count. That one's going to stay outside. Breaking ball just came out of the side of his hand. 2-0. Marco Gonzalez, who was previously, believe their designated hitter, will actually go into second base. He will. 2 balls and no strike pitch coming up to Gates. Inside move back to second, and that ball's going to intersect, and the Rusk Eagles will have a run. Shortstop Blake Mitchell collided with the base runner Will Dixon, and it flares off of Dixon out to left field. Hudnall comes in to score, and you always talk about that situation of go after the batter, and I would imagine that Alanis right now is thinking, hey, that inside move is really the last thing that I'm concerned about. You go ahead and get that batter.
Of course, you're throwing in behind a runner that's at third base, and so that kid's not going to go anywhere at second base without the guy at third base going anywhere. And so, sometimes just try to go a little bit as far as defensively trying to do a little bit too much, and I think that's what might have happened right there. But, the runner at second base did a good job of going back into the base, standing up, which caused some problem there with the shortstop being able to get the throw.
2 balls and 1 strike. That one's going to miss outside, 3-1. Gates was hit by a pitch his first at bat, so runners at first and second. Leonard at first, Dixon at second base. 1 run in here in the top of the second inning for the Rusk Eagles. Pitch on the way. Ball 4 stays down low, and the bases are going to be loaded again, and it's going to bring up Wade Williams.
It's kind of been what we've seen today in both games. We've seen probably what's out of normal for both teams is several walks, and so I know all 4 of these teams didn't get to the state tournament because their pitching staff walks a lot of guys, but whichever group can kind of get their guys calmed down and get them back in the zone is going to be the teams that prevail and end up getting a chance to play for a state championship tomorrow.
Williams takes the ball down low. 1 ball, no strike. Williams had a 2 RBI double in the top of the first inning. He scored Leonard and Gates, trying to do the same thing right here possibly. Dixon at third, Leonard at second, Gates at first. 1 ball, no strikes to Williams. Breaking ball hits on the strike on the outside corner. Williams wanted time but didn't get it.
You got to be granted time. If you don't get granted time, then you just have to be in there. You've got to hit, or you've got to take whatever the umpire calls it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Brown takes his time. Comes set, hit, grounded towards third base. He's up with it. Trevino's got it. Instant fire for Daniel Trevino as he moves over from second to third base. 1 hopper hit at him. 3 runners left on for the Rusk Eagles, but they put 1 across. They lead 3-2 over the Sinton Pirates. Bottom of the second coming up. You are watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole season. Trust me, I know Creole, and this is the real deal.
Oh yeah, Tony Chachere
makes everything taste great.
Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you on the NFHS Network. Game 2 of the 4A state semifinals, Rusk Eagles and the Sinton Pirates. Rusk leads 3-2 over Sinton. J.D. Thompson back to the mound for the Rusk Eagles. A awkward play that ended the bottom half of the first inning, Coach, as J.D. Thompson tagged out the base runner trying to get home on the pass ball. He goes back to work right here against the Sinton Pirates. He's going to face Jacquay Stewart, who was at the plate whenever the base runner was thrown out at home, Blake Mitchell, then Braden Brown and Caden McCoy.
Yeah, you saw JD's athleticism being able to cover home plate on a pass ball and got there, and it was a little late getting there, but once he got there, he was able to take the throw and put the tag down and get the out at home plate to end the inning and end the threat of scoring more runs. But
Stewart leads it off here in the bottom of the second inning. 4-11 on the year, 14 doubles, 3 triples for the first baseman for the Pirates. First pitch from Thompson. Inside, got him swinging. No balls and 1 strike.
Jacquez, a man, if he could hit one down the right field line, he'd run forever.
Fastball misses up and away. Good velocity on that Thompson fastball. And they are playing him opposite field. The center fielder shaded over, Bryce Leonard. Ball misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Right, even the right fielder, Mason Circle, is up in that right center field gap. And I would imagine with the velocity of J.D. Thompson, they're planning for him to hit towards the opposite side. Big swing right there for Stewart. He evens it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two-two pitch from Thompson. Hits the glove, but just a little bit outside, full count. Lane Gilchrist put his glove out there. J.D. Thompson hit it, but it was set up just a little bit off of the plate. Rob Walsh, the umpire, didn't like it. This one grounded out towards second base. Rawlinson over to Sunday. 1 down here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and it brings up the new pitcher, Braden Brown.
Brown, a young man, hitting .309 on the season. Just another one of these Sinton hitters that's hitting over 300 and having a good year offensively. So,
big, tall, right-handed batter for the Pirates. Thompson immediately goes to work. Strike on the inside corner.
JD again working that inner third of the plate. Holds true, he usually works in, then he'll go back away, but he's going back in here.
Hit inside out swing right there from Brown. No balls and 2 strikes, and you're right, he is a control pitcher who doesn't mind going inside.
No, and that's how you get a lot of strikeouts. You pound the inside, then go change up away or fastball away and get that strikeout pitch. So,
fastball up in the zone, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, all 3 so far to Braden Brown inside. Gilchrist looks like he's going to set up there again. Hit tattoo towards center field. Leonard over to his right, does a good job of cutting it off, but it will be a 1-out single for Braden Brown. Brings up Caden McCoy.
Ball is kind of left out over the plate right there, and boy, got good extension on. Hit that ball about as good as you could hit it. And get a courtesy runner, number 11, over here at first base.
Number 11 for Sinton, Aiden Moody, the freshman, will run for Braden Brown, who's the pitcher now. Caden McCoy, the left fielder, now steps in. Coach Alaniz making sure that the officials know who is the courtesy runner. Obviously, Braden Brown started off at third base, making sure that everybody is aware that obviously Braden Brown will come back into the mound. A little bit of extended conversation right here for some reason. Don't know exactly what's going on. Coach Alaniz and Coach Rob Walsh, or the umpire Rob Walsh. Now he's going to bring in Servi Blanco from first base. Make sure that they understand 100% what the situation is. J.D. Thompson, meanwhile, flipping the ball around the pitcher's mound, and he's ready to go. 1-out single for Braden Brown. He's not down at first base. His base runner's down at first base.
He's going to go to the bullpen and throw a few extra pitches.
There you go. Try to get warmed up a little bit. It's Aiden Moody down at first base.
One thing you're not going to have a problem today is getting warmed up.
No, it is warm. First pitch hits Caden McCoy. Third hit by pitch of this game that we've seen, Coach. It's for 2 pitchers that are control pitchers, both over 100 strikeouts. You don't typically see that many hit by pitch, but it's happened. J.D. Thompson, I retract that. J.D. Thompson does have 20 hit by pitch on the year, so he obviously pitching inside, that's probably pretty normal.
Yeah, well, a guy likes to throw inside, he's going to get that. And so, the 2 games we've watched today, there's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises. But Coach is going to go out there and talk to JD. I'm sure this is not going to be a pitching change. JD's been their guy all year long. This is going to kind of go out there and I talked to him a little bit about bunt defense. Maybe a situation here where they try to bunt with 1 out and see what type of rotation that they run. Maybe a situation where they try to steal, on first movement. JD is a little bit longer to the plate than your normal left-hander, and so he's just going out there and trying to calm him down and get him back in the zone and tell him he's just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning.
Runner down at second base will be Aiden Moody. And at first, now Caden McCoy with one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Rusk leads 3-2. Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you. NFHS Network state semifinal matchup here in Class 4A from Austin, Texas at Dish Falk Field. Thompson back out of the stretch. First pitch up high in the zone. 1 ball, no strikes.
Watched Marco last week in the Cal Allen series. Watched him when I was watching the game, and kid that takes a lot of pitches and has an extremely good eye. So
2-0, misses up and away.
Has a really good approach at the plate. He doesn't have a lot of wasted movement. Just has a clue of what he's doing up there at the plate.
Thompson looking for strike one right here to Marco Gonzalez. Misses outside, 3-0. Top of the lineup, waiting on deck, Rene Galvan. Three balls, no strike. Inside move. Back to second easily is Moody. .30 pitch on the way. Strike on the inside corner, 3-1. Thompson back up on top of the hill. Hands a little bit up higher by his chin. 3-1 pitch on the way. Catches the inside, 3-2. Fighting back, J.D. Thompson. Ground ball gets him out of the inning possibly. Outfield shaded towards the opposite field, towards right center. 3-2 pitch on the way to Gonzalez. Breaking ball got him. Caught the inside corner, fell down. 3 balls and no strikes, Coach, but fought back and threw 3 good quality strikes. And there's 2 down, brings the top of the lineup with Rene Galvan.
That just shows you what type of pitcher he is right there. He can be able to compete and come back from a 3-0 count in this type of situation. Runners on first and second, this atmosphere. It tells you that what type of competitor that he is. And so good job by JD right there.
Rene walked his first at bat. He takes ball 1 up and in. He walked and scored later on the RBI from Blake Mitchell. Or Ryland Galvan, I'm sorry. His brother had an RBI triple. 1 ball, no strikes from Thompson. Up and in again, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes from J.D. Thompson. Breaking ball catches the outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rene trying to get a run across. There's a runner in scoring position for Sinton. Thompson set, double looks. Rene Galvan calls time. He's granted it by the home plate umpire. JD, couple looks back at second base right there.
Yeah,
Braden Brown.
Shortstop was kind of working in behind the runner, and there's been a little daylight in between the runner and the shortstop. They try to come back with a little daylight move. Probably not right here.
2-1. Fouled off to the left-hand side, evens it up 2-2.
You see fastball here by JD in the upper 80s. That was 88 miles an hour right there, and so he's a young man that has topped out in the upper 80s, low 90s, and so it's a lot of strikeouts.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Deuce is wild. Thompson got the outside corner, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for J.D. Thompson. Ends the bottom of the second inning. 2 runners left on for the Sinton Pirates. Rusk leads 3-2 after 2 complete. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Trust me, I know Creole, and this is the real deal.
Oh yeah, Tony Chachere's
Makes everything taste great.
Top of the third inning, Braden Brown back out to the mound for the Sinton Pirates. Leading it off will be the pitcher, number 10, J.D. Thompson, followed by Terrence Sunday and Brett Rawlinson.
And that's where you can see what type of, Brains will go out there and he's going to inherit, nobody on base in this inning, get to start off with not a bunch of runners on base, and you kind of see what he pitches like out of the windup and see how he calms himself down and gets himself in the zone and see, he wants him to pitch to contact. I'm sure Coach Alaniz wants him to pitch to contact and let his defense make plays.
Thompson comes in with an average of .369 on the year. Struck out his first at-bat against Wyatt Viatric, now first time facing Braden Brown. First pitch from Brown, big swing from J.D. Thompson, one strike. Top of the third inning, again, Rusk leads 3-2 over Sinton. 0-1 pitch on the way, fouled straight back over towards us. It'll be no balls and 2 strikes. In fact,
over us.
Still rolling behind us right here, and it's 0-2. Braden Brown again came in relief of Wyatt Viatric in the top of the second. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses away, 1-2. Thompson does not look like a very big player. There's a good breaking ball from Brown. Got him looking on the outside corner. One down in the top of the third brings up Terrence Sunday.
And JD got a little dose of his own medicine right there, working both sides of the plate and really threw a good breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Kind of froze him there for strike 3. But I'm sure JD won't say a whole lot about it if he gets the same call when he goes out there. So
Terrence Sunday, the first baseman, now steps in. He flew out to Rene Galvan in center field in the first inning. First pitch from Brown is a breaking ball. Same pitch, right on the outside corner, 0-1. Brown and Galvan got what they want. Tried to frame a low fastball and
came up empty.
Missed it, actually. Came up on the old whiff right there for Riley Galvan. It's 1-1. You're starting to see a lot of those catchers kind of try to swipe up, catch the ball on the way up, and just kind of airmailed that one a little bit. 1-1 from Brown. That's up high. It's 2-1.
You see Riley really working his pitcher and telling him to get back in the zone. And, there's a lot to be said for a catcher that takes command of the field and gets his pitcher's attention.
2-1 pitch. Breaking ball just misses the outside, 3-1. On deck is the second baseman, Brett Rawlinson. Terrence Sunday trying to get on right here for the Rusk Eagles. Big wide open stance for Terrence. 3 balls, 1 strike. Brown. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses low, ball 4. 1 out walk from Braden Brown. Rusk Eagles have got a base runner, and it brings up number 15, Brett Rawlinson.
Know where you don't want to be today, and that's on I-35 over there.
I don't know if there's ever a time that you want to be on I-35 particularly, to be honest. You and I drove up here hours and hours and hours ago, and it wasn't pretty then. At 5 o'clock, I'd imagine it's really ugly. Beautiful stadium here at Dishwalk Field at the University of Texas. Ground ball hit towards second base. Mitchell over to first, got him, double play. Marco Gonzalez to Blake Mitchell to Jacque Stewart. Ends the Rusk top of the third inning. 3-2 Rusk Eagles lead. Sinton coming up in the bottom of the third. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Tony Chachere's famous Creole cuisine. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
Bottom of the third inning. Thompson back to the mound for the Rusk Eagles. 3-2 ball game. J.D. Thompson settling in a little bit on the pitcher's mound for the Rusk Eagles. Back-to-back strikeouts ended the bottom of the second inning, and then leading it off will be number 5, the catcher Rylan Galvan, followed by Blake Mitchell and Cannon Chester.
J.D.'s going to have to face kind of the heart of their lineup right here, and so we'll see. First time we're through is a little bit shaky going against this group, and we'll see what what adjustments that he makes on this second time around.
Rylan Galvan put a charge into a ball in left center field gap, his first at bat for an RBI triple. First pitch from Thompson as a breaking ball stays outside. One ball and no strikes here in the bottom of the third. 2-0, misses up and away.
Rylan, a kid that is real quiet at the plate. He doesn't have a lot of wasted movement. He really, even when he takes the pitch, he's real quiet with his hands and with his feet, and the boy has good explosiveness with his hips.
2-0, dangerous pitch from Thompson. Gets a strike on the inside corner, 88. Painted the black, 2-1. Gilchrist set up outside, hits his spot, 2-2. A little pumped up now, J.D. Thompson. That one right at 89. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Rylan Galvan. Got him swinging through, strike 3. J.D. Thompson's 4th strikeout of the evening. Rylan Galvan goes down, brings up the sophomore Blake Mitchell.
This is kind of what we expected. You start to see these pitchers start to settle in. Both pitching staffs start to settle in. You start to see them going through these lineups and getting a lot of called strikes, a lot of swinging through strikes, and so we'll see how this unfolds as we go through it.
First pitch to Mitchell off the hands out towards the shortstop. Shortstop goes about 5 steps out, and he's got it. Easy play for Landon Gates, and there's 2 down in the bottom of the third. Brings up Cannon Chester. Chester grounded back to Thompson for the first out of the game.
Hitting right at 380 on the season. He has 34 RBIs. A couple of home runs.
First pitch from Thompson to Chester. Breaking ball stays up just a little bit too far. 1 ball, no strikes. Chester flies out towards right. Mason's circle comes in. Calls it off up in the sun a little bit, but he's got it. 3 up, 3 down for the Rusk Eagles, and J.D. Thompson has settled in just fine. 3-2, Rusk leads after 3 complete. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Trust me, I know Creole. And this is the real deal.
Oh, yeah. Tony Chachere's
Makes everything taste great.
Fielder's choice, he touched on.
Top of the fourth coming up right here from Dish Falk Field, UFCU. Dish Falk Field right here in Austin, Texas. Game 2 of the state semifinal matchup, Sinton Pirates against the Rusk Eagles. Game 1 was the Pleasant Grove Hawks defeating the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, so they have punched their ticket to the state tournament, the Pleasant Grove Hawks, and I would imagine they're here somewhere. They hung around for Game 2, I guarantee you.
Imagine their coaching staff is here. They might have sent the kids home to let them rest and get in the air conditioning and try to take a little time and get something to eat. But I bet you the coaching staff is here somewhere charting these hitters and watching these two teams play and trying to get an idea of what they need to do to try to win them a state championship tomorrow.
Leading it off will be number 5, Zach Blackman, the designated hitter, followed by Lane Gilchrist. First pitch from Brown, grounded down the third base line. No balls and 1 strike. Blackman hitting for Mason Circle, who made that play in right field just a minute ago. And I was talking to Coach McMurray earlier in the week, and McMurray, pretty good crafty lefty on his own. He's been kind of their number 2 all year long, but not overpowering stuff. Likes to spot the ball, and I liked his reference right here. He said he's the Tom Glavine for Rusk.
There's an old.
Thought that was pretty impressive.
There's an old throwback name from the Atlanta Braves, but anytime you get a left-hander that can spot up pitches and throw different pitches for strikes, you're going to be successful.
1 ball, 1 strike on the batter. Hit towards the 5-6 hole. Base hit, leadoff single for Zach Blackman. Top of the 4th inning. Now Lane Gilchrist steps to the plate. He had a single his first at bat. Following Lane back to the top of the lineup for Will Dixon.
Here's a situation where, there's nobody out. Maybe a situation where they decide to bunt. Obviously, these pitching staffs are starting to settle down. 1 run may mean a lot. So
Gilchrist will square to bunt. Looked like it hit him almost off the finger right there. They're going to say it hit his hand, but Gilchrist says it hit him in the arm. The home plate umpire, Rob Walsh, says no, it got you in the hand. And of course, if you've squared to bunt and you're offered to swing, your hand is part of the bat. I know that's the common always question is, well, if it hits you in your hand, it's still a hit by pitch. Well, yes, it is, unless you swing.
Yeah, unless you're swinging. And that's exactly what, when you offer it bunt, that's basically a swing. And so, the right call was made right there. Gilchrist
will remain down at the plate.
We've had more of those today than I think we've had all year long.
I know. It's been one of those days. We've had a lot of hit by pitches, a lot of walks, which is uncommon for the state tournament. And now I think that's the 2nd or 3rd kid who's been hit in the arm or the wrist.
Trying to bunt.
Pickoff move over to first. Back in easily is Blackman. No balls and 1 strike on the batter, Gilchrist. No outs. Ball misses low and away. Great play right there from Rylan Galvan to keep that ball even in front of him to keep Blackman at first.
Yeah, that ball was nearly outside the left-handed batter's box, and so you see the athleticism of Galvan right there to shift his weight and get over in front of that ball and keep it in front of him and keep that runner from advancing over.
1 ball, 1 strike on the batter. Gilchrist on deck is Will Dixon. Brown comes set. He'll throw over to Stewart at first base. Back in easily is Zach Blackman, though.
Relatively large amount of room in foul territory until you get down to the right field and left field lines.
1-1. Good bunt right here by Gilchrist. Brown, no option but to flip it over to first, and Gilchrist does exactly what Coach McMurray asked him to do, sacrifice. 1-3. Down to second base is Zach Blackman, back to the top of the lineup for Will Dixon.
Good job there by that 9-hole hitter, that young man, doing a good job of getting the ball down, getting that runner over to second base, turn it over to the top of this lineup, and some guys that have been successful at swinging the bats and gotten some hits, and they'll be facing Brown for the first time, so it's a little bit different guy on the mound, but they're swinging some hot bats.
Runner down at second base after the sacrifice. One down. First pitch is in the turf. Galvan does a good job of keeping it somewhat close to him, and the runner Blackman chooses probably fairly wisely to stay at second base.
We've all seen Ryland throw, and that was probably a good choice right there.
1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Rusk 3, Sinton 2. Brown brings the fastball, stays up and in. It'll be 2 balls and no strikes. Dixon got on base last at bat, but it was the one that Rene Galvan lost. Fell down. Breaking ball over the top of the head of Will Dixon as he turns around and looks at his bench, and I would imagine there's probably some people over there saying, hey, wear it.
Yeah,
and it's easy to say from the dugout, isn't it?
The reaction if you throw something to somebody is to get out of the way. But I'm sure these coaches have talked about, hey, we got to do whatever it takes to get us on base. And there's one where he probably wishes he'd have sat in there and just took it in the back.
Balk on the pitcher, Braden Brown. Zach Blackman will go to third base.
Again, they're rolling through their delivery. What they're calling is the fact that they're not coming set and they're wind up, and when they come set in the stretch, they're not coming set. They're just coming up and rolling through it, and you have to come set. So that's what they've called both times on both balks, one from each pitcher.
Remain 3 balls and no strikes on the batter, Will Dixon. So down to third, now 90 feet away is Zach Blackman. Braden Brown comes set. Pitch on the way, there's a good pitch. Nope, that one stays up a little bit. Base runners down at first and third now as Will Dixon gets the 1-out walk, and it brings up number 16, Bryce Leonard.
Coach McMurray here has got a situation where he may try to apply some pressure to Sinton and see how they respond, with the first and third offense. There's a lot of things you can do here. You can leave early. You can delay steal. You can straight steal. You can double steal. So there's a lot of different options to do here with first and third.
Bryce Leonard, 351 on the year coming in. Doubled his first at bat. First pitch is down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Leonard scored in the first inning. His second at bat, he was hit by pitch. 1 for 1 on the afternoon for Bryce Leonard, the center fielder for Rusk. Again, you said it, Bryce facing Braden Brown for the first time right here. Third to first move for Braden Brown. Looked over at Zach Blackman and then back to Will Dixon at first. But
Coach Albanese might have thought something was on there as far as somebody would be moving right there. And so you do a little first and third to just check it out and see if anything was going on.
1 ball, no strikes on the batter, Bryce Leonard. Hit towards the first baseline, kind of rolled over. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Roderick Brooks, buddy of mine from college at Tarleton State University, is listening. He just texted us here on the NFHS network, so hi to you. Good friend of mine. Good guy. 1-1 pickoff move back over first. Dixon back in safely. Stewart kind of slap tag down there, right? 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Time called by the home plate umpire, and he's having a conversation with Bryce Leonard. He tried to put his play sheet back in the back pocket, and I'm not sure if the home plate umpire didn't appreciate it or what it was. But either way, we're back, 1-1. Brown's pitch, ground ball right back up the middle. Mitchell to his right. He'll step on second, throw to first, beat it out. Bryce Leonard huffing it down the first baseline. Fielder's choice. They got Dixon out at second. But an RBI for Bryce Leonard as Zach Blackman comes across. And the Rusk Eagles put another run on the board. It's 4-2. Bryce hustling down as fast as he could down the first baseline, and good play by Blake Mitchell. Blake ended up having to change his direction twice. Runner was moving, ended up going back to his right, making the play, and a strong throw to Stewart, but Leonard beat it out, and a run comes across.
That's one of those deals you talk to your kids about.
Fly ball down the left field line. Thought it was going to get fouled pretty easily, and it will.
Talk to your kids about it. We got, we're in the state tournament. We got to hustle everything out. Doesn't matter whether you can't take anything for granted. And that was a great job there by Leonard. He hit that ball right back up the middle. Could have very easily hesitated for a second and taken it for granted. That ball was going to be a double play, and he hustled it out to first base and beat the throw at first base and allowed a run to score. And obviously, runs are going to be, tough to come by. And so to get up 2 runs here in the 4th inning is big for Rusk.
They lead 4-2 now here in the top of the 4th. Braden Brown going off against Landon Gates. Gates fires one to right field. Coming up, making a good play is the right fielder, Cannon Chester. And that's 3 outs, but the Rusk Eagles put one across in the top of the 4th. They now lead 4-2 over to the Sinton Pirates. Bottom of the 4th coming up. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Tony Chachere's famous Creole cuisine. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
And we're back, bottom of the 4th inning. Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you on the NFHS Network. J.D. Thompson back out to the mound to go to work here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Started off a little rough, gave up 2 to Renee Galvan and Rylan Galvan in the bottom of the 1st, but since has settled down, Coach, and he has been dynamite.
Yeah, he's been all that we've talked about and all that we thought he was going to be, and so he's, these Sinton hitters are going to have to figure out a way to, once they get guys on, they're going to have to figure out a way to get them in and get some hits with some runners in scoring position and take advantage of what opportunities they get.
First pitch from Thompson stays up. 1 ball, no strikes. On the batter, number 12, Daniel Trevino. Bottom of the 4th inning. Thompson flat out towards first base. First baseman Sunday's fighting over to see if he can make it there, and it floated back and ended up coming back into foul territory. Thought it was going to be over the first base dugout, but the opposite. You said it earlier. Jacques Stewart found the railing with his offhand right there. Terrence Sunday couldn't do the same, and the ball falls to the turf.
A little bit further, a little bit longer run than what Jacques had to do, but it was a tough play to make.
1 ball, 1 strike from Thompson. Breaking ball, dribbled down the third baseline. It'll be now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sun probably coming in to be a factor a little bit here, too. As you can see in our camera, it's creeping up on the home plate right where Daniel Trevino is.
He did the common mistake. He overran it a little bit, too.
1-2 pitch in the turf on the outside. Gilchrist blocks it. Evens it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off on the right-hand side. We'll do the 2-2 again. Thompson back out on top of the rubber. 2-2 pitch on the way to Trevino. Coming back inside, drilled towards center field. Bryce Leonard over to his right. Dixon over. They will not get it. Ball hits the ground. Trevino around second. He'll stay there with a leadoff double. Ball hung in the air for a long time, but as we've been talking about all afternoon, they've been playing the opposite field as long as J.D. Thompson's been on, and Bryce Leonard tried to track that one down but couldn't get there, and it's a leadoff double for Daniel Trevino.
Long ways to go right there, and it's a good job by Trevino. Boy, he put a good charge into it and hit that ball a long ways. It was high as it was far, and so, opportunity here for Sinton to, they got a leadoff hitter on at second base, opportunity for them to try to narrow this gap here from 4-2 to something different, and so we'll see what they choose to do, whether they choose to play for a run or whether they choose to play for a big inning, try to put a crooked number up and get this thing tied. So
Rylan Lopez will be the pinch runner for Daniel Trevino. Jacques Stewart now steps into the box. Stewart grounded out to the second baseman, Brett Rawlinson, his first at bat. Rylan Lopez, the sophomore for Sinton, at second base, trying to get a run across right here. Thompson out of the stretch, breaking ball away. Good job by Gilchrist. 1 ball, no strikes.
Sure, Coach Allen needs to talk to his runner, about reading the fly of the baseball. If the ball's going to go in there and bounce, make sure we're getting a good enough secondary lead where we can advance a base if we need to.
1-0 pitch. Big swing by Stewart. Came up empty, 1-1.
Stewart, if anything, if he doesn't get on base, doesn't get a hit right here, he definitely wants to try to pull the ball the right side of the infield, get that runner over.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch on the way. Catches the outside, 1-2. Home plate umpire Rob Walsh, he's been consistent on giving the outside strike right there. You could hear Sinton kind of not real thrilled with that one. 1-2 from Thompson. Balk. Double pump right there at the set point, and down to third is going to go the base runner, Rylan Lopez. A lot of balks we've seen this afternoon too.
Yeah, we've seen, obviously 3 in this game, and we saw 1 in the last game also, and so it's not something that's point of emphasis or anything that these umpires are bringing that they're not used to, but it is one thing. These umpires come from all over the state of Texas.
Just a little bit off, low outside, 2-2.
These umpires come from all over the state of Texas, and it's not in their normal chapters that call their games. And so you kind of get to where you're comfortable with your normal chapters, and you may be able to do some things you get away with, but then all of a sudden now you're facing some other chapter.
2-2 in the turf outside, 3-2.
These guys here, Rusk is in kind of northeast Texas over there, and they could be this umpiring chapter could be from El Paso or whatever. They're not, but they could be from El Paso. But, so you get different things called.
Payoff pitch to Stewart, flied out towards the center fielder. Leonard to his right. He'll come up, conversation in the middle, and it is caught in the outfield, but not the most graceful communication between Will Dixon and Bryce Leonard. Run will come across. Rylan Lopez scores. 4-3, Rusk takes the lead, and
sacrifice fly.
The double to start off the inning from Daniel Trevino. We saw them kind of get close. Will Dixon and Bryce Leonard right there. They got a little bit more than close, Coach.
The old fly ball communication. Everybody's wanting to make sure that we get everything caught, and so they're faced this background's a little different with the stands than what they normally get, and so just making sure that they get things caught, and so main things they caught it.
4-3 lead for Rusk. Braden Brown takes ball 2 up high. J.D. Thompson ready to go to work. You can see here on Brown, he's already thrown 2 pitches. 2-0 coming up to the pitcher for the Pirates. Inside, got him below the hands, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Just a little bit low on the outside, 3-1. And you hear the friendly banter from the other side on that call.
Get grumblings from both sides on different plays.
3-1 pitch coming up from J.D. Thompson. Breaking ball misses inside, ball 4. 1 out walk for Braden Brown brings up Caden McCoy. We will see courtesy runner number 11, Aiden Moody, again down at first base. Batter is now left fielder Caden McCoy for the Pirates.
Got hit by a pitch. Imagine that last time up.
Yeah. First pitch, strike right at the top of the zone, 0-1. Outfield playing more straight up this time. Moody off of first. Thompson kicks, comes to the plate, fouls it off to the right, and it's 0-2.
One thing you're going to see as this game unfolds, these kids aren't used to, is especially these hitters, as this game unfolds, the shadow of the stadium is going to start to creep out toward the pitcher's mound, and you're going to get that ball coming out of the sunlight into the shadow.
0-2 pitch, misses inside, almost got him again, Coach. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caden McCoy almost 2 for 2 in hit by pitches right there.
He almost thinks he has a bullseye on his back.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Thompson comes set, glove at his chin. Pickoff move over to Moody at first base. Terrence Sunday didn't even apply the tag, just keeping him close. Shakes off 1-2 pitch coming up from Thompson. Time called by McCoy and granted by the home plate umpire, Rob Walsh. Thompson working fast. Moody off of first. 1-2 breaking ball. Got him on the outside. Curled one in the back door. Caught McCoy looking, and it brings up Marco Gonzalez. Good pitch right there.
5th strikeout on the night, if you're counting.
I bet there is a lot of people counting. What is that, 193 on the year for him. Off of first base, Moody. Cut play, J.D. Thompson. Those of you watching the film right now, that ball was actually cut by the pitcher, J.D. Thompson. Good camera work over there by Jesse, but
I think J.D. just realized that he got a big jump on him and just said, let's don't make an unnecessary throw.
That one's on me, guys. Catches the outside corner right there. Evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike on the batter. Marco Gonzalez came into second base. He was the designated hitter to start it off. Danielle Trevino went over to third when Braden Brown went to the mound. 1-1. Grounded foul down the first baseline. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch coming up for Thompson. Pitch on the way up and outside. 2-1. Oh, 2-2, sorry. I just said 1-2 count. And for some reason, I can't even count. They give me all these computers and all this other stuff and still can't do it.
Well.
2-2 pitch for J.D. Thompson. 2 outs. Deuce is wild here. Inside move. Puts Aiden Moody back to second base. Everybody yells balk.
You know, one thing if he doesn't clear the rubber right there to second base, then it is a balk. And so it was very close to just picking it up and setting it back down.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ground ball. Rawlinson to his right. Backhands it. Strong throw. Bounces to first. Got him. Terrence Sunday picks it out of the turf. J.D. Thompson gets Marco Gonzalez on the 4-3 ground ball. 4 complete. Right here from Disch Falk Field in Austin, Texas. Rusk 4, Sinton 3. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Trust me, I know Creole. And this is the real deal.
Oh, yeah. Tony Chachere's
Makes everything taste great.
4 complete. Right here from UFC Disch-Falk Field, Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier with you here live on the NFHS Network. Jesse, the cameraman extraordinaire, to our right-hand side for the semifinal matchup, Sinton versus Rusk. Winner goes to the state championship to play Pleasant Grove Hawks. They won 13-0 earlier this afternoon over to the Stephenville Yellow Jackets. Rusk leads 4-3 here. Braden Brown back out to the mound. Strike right on the inside corner here in the top of the 5th.
Had a lot of fireworks early, and it's kind of started to settle in and be a really good baseball game now.
Wade Williams steps into the box for the Rusk Eagles. Fouls it off. No balls and 2 strikes. Wade had a 2 RBI double his first at bat that scored the first 2 runs and grounded out to third base his last at bat. So 1 for 2 on the afternoon, or evening, as you'll call it. Start seeing that shade kind of working its way into the baseball field here. Brown comes set, breaking ball, good one. Gets him swinging. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Braden Brown. 1 down here in the top of the 5th, and it brings up to pitcher J.D. Thompson.
You know, that's something that, you know, people are sitting at home, they have a hard time understanding, but, you know, you see stadiums like Dodger Stadium and Petco Park there in San Diego where they really have those shadows that start to creep in late in the evenings. And it's tough on hitters in the big leagues, and you can imagine what it's like on these hitters, on these high school hitters that don't ever see it.
Breaking ball for Thompson, stays up high. 1 ball, no strikes. J.D. 0 for 2 strikeouts on the afternoon. Came in hitting .369 on the year. There's a breaking ball, works its way in. 1-1. Brown's done a pretty good job in relief of Wyatt Viatric. 1-1, hit towards left center field, and it's down over the head of Blake Mitchell. 1 out single from J.D. Thompson. And the Rusk Eagles have got a base runner for Terrence Sunday. Kind of end-capped that ball a little bit. Thought Blake Mitchell may have a play on it. Going to get a courtesy runner for J.D. Thompson. It is 28, Jackson Dowling, the sophomore.
Sophomore catcher / outfielder. Unique combination there.
/ courtesy runner.
/ courtesy runner, you're exactly right.
1 down, runner now at first base after the J.D. Thompson single. Dowling will run for him and brings up Terrence Sunday. 275 on the year coming into this afternoon for Terrence Sunday. Saw him make a good pickup the last half inning off the throw from Brett Rawlinson. Open stance for Terrence Sunday. Dowling off of first. Big swing, good breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes from Braden Brown.
You see Braden, he's kind of settled in, really throwing that breaking ball for a strike and getting ahead of these hitters using it. So hit right over the head of Blake Mitchell in left center field.
Rene Galvan moves over to his right, and he's got it. And we got back-to-back singles for the Rusk Eagles.
Ball hit really hard right there. Got on Mitchell, I think, a little quicker than what he thought it was going to get on him, and just a little bit tardy on getting his glove up, or he might have had a line-out double play right there. But, got runners at first and second here for Rusk, threatening to score and get that run back that they gave up in the last inning.
Brett Rawlinson, the second baseman, is 0 for 2 on the afternoon, flew out to right field, then grounded into the 4-6-3 double play in the third. First pitch from Brown. Catches the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Jackson Dowling out at second base. Terrence Sunday at first. Very quiet all of a sudden. 0-1 pitch. Stays down low, 1-1. Brown took a little bit of extra time right there, and Brett Rawlinson stayed in the box, and you could hear the silence in the microphones. Tense moment right here in the top of the 5th inning. Rusk leads 4-3 over Sinton. Brown comes set. Breaking ball. Catches the inside. 1-2.
One thing, you get a big lead out of the runner at first base right here. Galvan's got a good arm. Something you may see him is try to possibly throw in behind the runner at first base.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Misses low and in. 2-2.
See the first baseman kind of trying to get the catcher's attention a little bit.
Ground ball hit towards the 5-6 hole. Mitchell over to his right. He'll flip it to third. Great play right there by Blake Mitchell, forcing off Dowling at third base. That's his only opportunity to get it out right there, Coach, and does a good job of just fielder's choice flipping it over there. Smart play.
Very smart play. His kind of momentum was headed that way, and that's the only play he had. Wasn't going to get it out anywhere else, and good job by him taking that force out at third base. Good job there by the third baseman, which is now Trevino, of knowing the situation and just securing the ball and getting the force out there.
Runners down at first and second. Sunday at second. Rawlinson now at first after the fielder's choice. Brown trying to get out of the back-to-back singles. Big shot down the third baseline, but it'll be foul off the bat of Zach Blackman. No balls and 1 strike. Blackman, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Flied out to Stewart down at first, and then had a single his last at bat and scored. The ball misses away, 1-1. Blackman led off the top of the 4th inning with a single. Left fielder playing right down the left field line. Brown to the plate. Big swing, comes up empty for Blackman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. Sunday at second. Rawlinson at first. Blackman, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brown trying to get out of it here in the top of the 5th inning. 4-3, Rusk leads Sinton. Brown comes set. Pitch on the way. Grounded towards the third baseman. Trevino's over with it. Raced to the bag and got him. Daniel Trevino dove for third base. Terrence Sunday couldn't quite get there in time, and the fielder's choice gets the Sinton Pirates out of it. 4-3, bottom of the 5th coming up. Sinton back to the plate. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Trust me, I know Creole. And this is the real deal.
Oh, yeah. Tony Chachere's
Makes everything taste great.
Bottom of the fifth coming up. J.D. Thompson back out to the mound. Back to the top of the lineup for the Sinton Pirates. He'll face Rene Galvan, Rylan Galvan, and Blake Mitchell. Big part of the order right here for the Sinton Pirates.
Yeah, that's exactly what we expected. You know, the game's exactly what we expected. We expected it to be a close game. They're scoring maybe a couple more runs than what we expected, but, both pitchers have settled in a little bit, starting to see a few more zeros put up there on the board. It's getting a little bit later in the ball game right here where you're going to start seeing the coaches have to make some decisions about what are we going to do to get one more run across and those type of things. So,
Rene Galvan leads it off. Fastball misses inside. No balls and one strike here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Rene Galvan is 0 for 1 on the afternoon with a strikeout. Walked his first at bat. Scored off the handle. Third baseman can't deal it. Rene Galvan will get on Wade Williams down at third base. A lot of spin on that baseball as the left-handed hitter inside outed it. And he'll be down at first. One runner on here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Yeah, a ball that I'm sure the third baseman tell you shouldn't have made a play on, but like you said, coming off this turf and hit off the end of the bat or off the cap there, it just looked like it had a lot of spin on it and kind of got in on him a little bit. But, here we go. We're in this situation where we'll see what Coach Alanis is going to do with this. He's got his two-hole hitter up, and is he going to play for a crooked number, or is he going to try to play and get this run in? So,
Rylan Galvan takes a strike on the outside corner. Rene Galvan swiped his 17th bag of the year in the first inning. See if he stays put at first base very long. They've had some decent jumps off of J.D. Thompson. No balls and one strike pitch to Rylan. That stays up and away 1-1.
They've had some success off going off first movement, and I'm sure JD's seen that before. He's played a lot of baseball, and so, one thing if you're going off first movement, you may see just a quick move to first base, just a step-off move or something.
1-1. There's the first over to first for Rene Galvan. Dives back in safely.
And your theory behind that is, if you're going on first movement, you're going to make the pitcher throw to first, the first baseman throw to the shortstop. You got to make two good throws and two good catches before that guy gets to second base.
1-1. Rylan will square to bunt. Gilchrist down to second base. Rene down at second. Got him. Lane Gilchrist throws out Rene Galvan. One out. Base runner erased from the base paths by the catcher of the Rusk Eagles, Lane Gilchrist. Rene was trying for his 18th stolen base of the year. Coach Adrian Alanis takes the very slow stroll out to the second base official, Leonard Lopez, just to have a small conversation with him. Rene had a pretty good jump. Gilchrist with a good, strong, and accurate, more than anything, throw.
It was very accurate, very accurate. One thing I thought they might have got Thompson on was he kind of rolled through his delivery again. That's something that they've called a couple of times, but he got it to the catcher, and the catcher Gilchrist did an unbelievable job of throwing a very accurate throw down there to shortstop and getting Galvan out before he got to second base.
2 balls and 1 strike now on the batter, Rylan Galvan. 1 down here in the bottom of the fifth. Thompson out of the windup. Breaking ball, misses low and in, 3-1. Time called by the home plate umpire. I think he was stepping in a little bit late right there. J.D. Thompson, when he kind of gets into his groove, he works really fast. Home plate umpire Rob Walsh wasn't quite ready for it. Ball 4.
That always happens. Never seems to fail whenever you get a leadoff guy on. You get somebody thrown out, next guy walks or gets a base hit or something like that. But
baseball karma.
Yeah, it's one of those deals. So
brings up number 3, Blake Mitchell. Mitchell 1 for 2. He had an RBI double his first at bat. He scored Rylan Galvan. Rylan, he's got 15 stolen bases of his own this year. Thompson to the plate for Mitchell. Strike right on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. See if Rylan may be on the move right here with 0-1 pitch. Mitchell up and in, 1-1. Lot of room down the right field line if Mitchell can turn on that fastball. Thompson set. Rylan Galvan 1 foot in the green. Big kick, caught the outside corner, 1-2. Mitchell, a sophomore, committed to LSU already, hitting .449 on the year, 14 doubles and 2 bombs. 30 RBIs as well. Hit right back towards the pitcher. Out to the shortstop Gates, down to first base. Will not get him. Good hustle by Mitchell. Fielder's choice for Blake Mitchell. Rylan Galvan is erased off the base paths. Mitchell down to first. I don't know if J.D. Thompson had quite had a good grip on that ball. It didn't seem like a urgent throwdown there, making sure he
wanted to make sure he got the lead man. That situation there, you want to make sure you get the lead man. And he took a little bit of extra time to make sure he had a good grip on it and make sure he got that lead man at first base, or second base, excuse me.
2 down. Mitchell down at first. First pitch fouled off from Cannon Chester. No balls and 1 strike. Rusk 4-3 over Sinton here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs from Dishwalk Field. Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you. 0-1 pitch, flied out towards right field. Mason Circle is over. Second baseman Rawlinson over. And it will fall in the Bermuda Triangle over there of Rusk Eagles.
Tough play for everybody involved. Everybody gave a good effort, and just like you said, it fell in that hole that it's very tough to get to. So,
no balls and 2 strikes now on the batter, Cannon Chester, who's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. He grounded back to the pitcher his first at bat, then flew out to right field in the 3rd inning. J.D. Thompson, 5 strikeouts on the afternoon. Down at first base is Blake Mitchell. Thompson comes set, glove at his chin, looking over at first. Pitch on the way, breaking ball, stays outside, 1-2.
Yeah, we want to commend the UIL and Brian Polk. I saw him out earlier, and Susan Elza and A.J. Martinez on the job that they do, especially this year with the COVID and
1-2 fouled off to the right. We'll do it again.
Just us having the opportunity to play not only all the baseball state championships, but it's the one that falls at the end, but all the other state championships that have come throughout the course of the year, and the organization that those guys put together and getting all these things and making all these things happen are something that is a lot of times goes, I guess, without anybody recognizing them. So I want to say thank you to them and their organization on getting all that, making all that happen this year.
And what a great location for them to do it. There's games today up at Dell Diamond, and of course we're here at UFCU Dishwalk Field on the campus of the University of Texas. So what better place to play the state tournament than this right here? 1-2 pitch on the move from first. Flied out towards right field. Circle will come in. Rawlinson will go back. Circle in, and he's got it. Mason Circle catches it, the fly ball down the right field line. 5 complete. Rusk Eagles lead the Sinton Pirates 4-3. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Getting late here.
This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Tony Chachere's famous Creole cuisine. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
Top of the 6th inning, Braden Brown out again for the Sinton Pirates. 4-3, the Rusk Eagles lead the Sinton Pirates. And Coach, we thought it would be a close matchup. I think we both thought it would be a low-scoring matchup, but it is it's delivered everything that it was supposed to right now going into the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's been a low-scoring game for the most part. I mean, it's two really good pitching staffs going against one another. There's been maybe a few more hits than what we anticipated, but you can't take anything away from these both teams swinging the bat-wise. But we're down to 2 innings left, and it's going to be a wild 2 innings for both these teams with the chance to go to play for a state championship tomorrow. And so, it's going to be exciting the last 2 innings to watch these two teams battle it out.
Leading it off will be the catcher, number 31, Lane Gilchrist, followed by Will Dixon and Bryce Leonard. Brown's first pitch to Gilchrist is a breaking ball right down the middle. 0-1.
Lane's 1 for 1 on the day. And a sacrifice bunt the last time up and a base hit the first time.
Breaking ball stays away. 1-1. Gilchrist on the last half inning had a big throw out of Rene Galvan at second base. That breaking ball stays inside. 2-1. Brown back on top of the mound. 2-1 pitch on the way. Flat out towards left field. That's going to get to the bleachers, and it'll be 2-2.
Stephenville players out there making a play on that. They're hanging around, taking a little bit more of the state tournament, enjoying their time here. Summertime for those boys now.
That's right. They fell to Pleasant Grove in game 1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch hit hard down the first baseline, and it's foul. We'll do the 2-2 pitch again. Almost an error by the first base coach over there.
Yeah,
he attempted at it right there.
You don't want to.
It's not one that you really want to stick your hand out for, the old liner down the first baseline.
Start reaching out for those line drives. So.
Coach, either Trent Montgomery or Ty Ham down there almost lost a hand. 2-2 pitch from Brown coming up again to Gilchrist. Stays just a little bit outside, full count 3-2.
Starting to see a few of the University of Texas players stick their heads out down there. They may have a little workout after this is over with out here. So.
Yeah, they got a decent game coming up this weekend. South Florida's coming in for the Super Regional. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Brown. Gilchrist, breaking ball, catches the inside corner, strike 3. Didn't get the first one, but got the second one. And there's 1 out in the top of the 6th inning, brings up the top of the lineup for number 12, Will Dixon.
Getting some new balls.
Yep.
So.
New white pearls being delivered out there. New diamonds.
Probably not diamonds. I'm not sure what the official ball is, but
I don't know. I just assumed it was diamonds.
No, they don't.
Shows you what I know.
Play the state tournament with diamonds. I'm not sure.
First pitch to Dixon is low. Ball 1.
One of those things we should know, but I don't know it.
I kind of feel unprepared now all of a sudden. I went through a game in 3 quarters, felt like we were fairly prepared. Now all of a sudden I don't even know what ball we're using. 1-0 pitch from Brown, misses outside, 2-0. Right about now, everybody's looking at their TVs, phones, computers, and thinking, who in the world are these guys?
Yeah.
2 balls, no strikes on Will Dixon. There's a breaking ball, catches the strike zone, 2-1. Dixon walked his last at-bat, was erased off the base paths on the fielder's choice from Bryce Leonard. Leonard on deck. 2-1 pitch on the way. Another breaking ball, catches the inside, 2-2.
Well, Braden's gone exclusively kind of to this breaking ball. He's kind of fell back on it a lot right here lately, and he's going to make these guys earn it on base throwing the breaking pitch. Obviously, they're hitting a fastball early, and now they're having to hit a breaking ball.
2-2 pitch on the way. It's hit back up the middle. Mitchell will work to his left. He'll have it. Spin to first. Strong throw. Got him at first.
Great play there by Mitchell going up the middle. I mean, he had to go a long ways to get to it. Okay. Reverse pivoted, made a good throwing throw to first base and got the out at first base.
2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Coach McMurray taking the long walk all the way to have a conversation with Servi Blanco at first base. Bang, bang play there at first base. And you're right, Blake Mitchell went a long way up the middle, spun around, and, you know, that they kind of teach that a little bit because you're using somewhat of the spin that you have to create
momentum
towards the throw. That's right. So
I always tell you to turn glove side, and that's one of those instances where he kind of reversed out to turn glove side to where he can get a little bit more on the throw.
2 down after the 6-3 put out from the sophomore Blake Mitchell. Bryce Leonard now steps in. 1 for 2 on the afternoon, double in his first at bat, and scored later. He was hit by a pitch in his second, and then a ground ball fielder's choice in the last inning. Ball stays low. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down here.
I don't envy the first base umpire. He's had some bang-bangers over there today. He's had some close plays he's had to make some calls.
Yeah,
they've done a good job. This set of umpires have done a good job today.
1 ball, no strikes. Leonard, breaking ball. Right in there, 1-1 from Braden Brown. Rene Galvan dead straight up in center field. Left fielder may be shading the left field line just a smidge, Caden McCoy. 1-1 pitch on the way from Brown. It's hit towards the second baseman. Gonzalez up with it. Flips it to Stewart. 3 up, 3 down for the Sinton Pirates. Rusk goes down in order. 4-3. Rusk leads after 5.5. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easy to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Trust me, I know Creole. And this is the real deal.
Oh, yeah. Tony Chachere's
Makes everything taste great.
Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Sinton to the plate. They're going to send Daniel Trevino, Jacquet Stewart, and Braden Brown. J.D. Thompson back out on the mound for the Rusk Eagles. Thompson gave up 2 in the bottom of the 1st and then 1 more in the bottom of the 4th. 5 strikeouts on the afternoon for him, which for a guy who averages quite a bit more than that, he averages over 10 strikeouts a game. The Sinton team putting the ball in play. Trevino, first pitch from Thompson. Swings through, strike 1. I'm not sure Trevino was quite ready at the plate right there.
His right hand was on the bat, but
no balls and 1 strike from Thompson. That misses outside, 1-1. Thompson entering his 6th inning of work. Pretty efficient so far this afternoon. 1-1 pitch coming up to Trevino. That ball's way outside, 2-1. Trevino, coach, the one who put a ball into orbit his last at-bat, ended up on the warning track for the leadoff double.
And made some really good plays at third base today.
Hit off the end of the bat, flared off over on the right-hand side. See if somebody can make a play on it. They will not. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A bunch of people trying to dodge it. Young man made a play with his hat.
There you go. He is pumped up, too. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thompson flared it off on the right-hand side. We'll stay 2-2. Thompson again out of the windup. 2-2 to Trevino. Breaking ball. Got him underneath the hands. Gilchrist comes up, calls for the outside, fires it down the first. And there's 1 up, 1 down. Terrence Sunday throws it around. J.D. Thompson with the strikeout of Daniel Trevino. Now Jacquet Stewart steps into the box.
Good job there by JD of throwing that breaking pitch, call it your back foot. He threw it at the back foot on the end of the right-handed hitter right there and just broke it off underneath his hands and got that strikeout there.
Jaquay Stewart over 400 on the year. 14 doubles, 3 triples. Ball stays inside, and they're going to say it hit him in the arm. He'll be down at first base. Little conversation. J.D. Thompson actually going to ask for a new ball from the home plate umpire, Rob Walsh. Adrian Alanis is going to call for a pinch runner for Stewart down at first base. We'll see who that is.
Number 10.
It will be number 10, Klein Chester. I'm willing to bet that is the little brother of Cannon Chester, Klein the freshman.
I'm going to give you your first guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
You win. Stepping into the box will be number 2, Braden Brown, after the hit by pitch. Just another one of the things that you see. One down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runner at first base, Klein Chester. Braden Brown now steps into the box against J.D. Thompson. Thompson comes set. Breaking ball. That's a good one. No balls and 1 strike.
Chester with the big blow last week versus Cal Allen. So he's definitely got the pop in his bat.
Braden Brown squirts one down the first base line.
Excuse me. This
one ball.
This is Braden Brown. This is not the last.
They do look
Chester.
very similar. Cannon Chester and Braden Brown look exactly alike, by the way.
They look very similar to one another in the batter's box. So my fault.
One wears number 2, one wears number 22.
Yeah, that's
See?
where I was.
That's where we were going.
That's where I was.
Look, you see how I bailed you out there?
You did. Appreciate it. Looking through this splitter in the window.
Yes.
I only saw one of the 2.
And I'm going to tell you, your eyes are better than mine because several of the numbers I haven't seen. We're 3 stories up here in the press box right behind the home plate. So not the easiest in the world, but man, what a beautiful stadium. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Thompson comes set. Brown, ground ball towards the first baseman. He spears it. He's going to end up just going to first. Very smart play right there from Terrence Sunday. He rushed it a little bit, thought about maybe trying to get Chester down at second base, Klein Chester, but decided against it and just took the easy 3 unassisted right there for the second out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it brings up Caden McCoy.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to, reverse pivot and get that momentum going to second base. And when he reverse pivot, the ball kind of came out of his glove, and he did the smart thing by not panicking and gathering himself, picking the ball up and getting the out at first base. But we do have a runner at second base where a base hit could possibly tie the ball game right here.
Caden McCoy struck out his last at bat. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Thompson comes set, glove up high. Hit towards the right fielder. Circle takes 2 steps back, and he's got it. Good play by Mason Circle out in right field. The young man who Ross McMurray said was the Tom Glavine of the staff comes up with a big play out there in right field. And after 6 complete, Rusk 4, Sinton 3. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Tony Chachere's famous Creole cuisine. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
Top of the 7th inning. Braden Brown back out to the mound for the Sinton Pirates. He's going to square off against 3, 4, 5 of the Rusk Eagles. Landon Gates, Wade Williams, and J.D. Thompson.
Can't say enough about both these teams and the seasons that they've had and to get themselves here. You know, we've already went over who they beat to get here, and many of them beat some really good baseball teams, some really good baseball programs, some programs that have been at the state tournament.
Landon Gates will lead it off. Hitting .344 on the year coming into tonight. Oh for 1 after a line drive to the right fielder, Cannon Chester, earlier. Was hit by a pitch and walked his first 2 at-bats, scored 1 run for the Rusk Eagles. First pitch from Brown, swung through on the outside, and I think he hit the catcher's glove. I think he may have lost the bat, actually. I think it may have hit Rylan Galvan in the hand. I saw Rylan Galvan's head hit the turf. It is hot out there. 90 degrees, but on the turf, I promise you, it is much, much warmer than 90. Landon Gates is going to borrow some batting gloves from somebody right here. Rylan Galvan, he's okay. Tough young man back there. Every catcher that plays the position is tough, especially one that obviously is as good and as talented as Rylan Galvan. No balls, 1 strike from Braden Brown. Landon Gates back in the box. That one stays outside, 1-1. Brown to the plate. Big swing right there from Gates, 1-2. Brown trying to give Sinton an opportunity in the bottom of the 7th. Gates, that pitch misses low and in. Evens it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Even with nobody on, you see Galvan working hard back there behind the catcher.
Yeah, obviously with 2 strikes, he's got to keep everything in front. But he's the type of kid that doesn't matter what the count is. He's keeping stuff in front of him. So
2-2. That hits him right off the back leg of Landon Gates. Another hit by pitch this afternoon, and Gates is on any way you can, I guess, right here. Leadoff batter's on, and it brings up the third baseman, Wade Williams. Williams started off the game with a 2 RBI double. Since then, 0 for 2. Grounded out to the third baseman and then a strikeout his last at bat. .364 on the year for Wade Williams.
You may see him try to play for a run right here. We'll see.
Williams will square to Brown. He puts a good one. Nope, off to the foul side. Down here, no balls and 1 strike.
You'd like to see Williams get squared around just a little bit earlier if it's going to be
true
a
sacrifice
situation. You like for him to get around a little bit earlier and get set up where he can really get the angle of that bat set so that he can get that ball bunted into the proper spot.
Down at first is Landon Gates. Trevino and Stewart, the first and third baseman for Sinton, creeping in just a little bit. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, but takes a strike on the outside corner on a good breaking ball from Braden Brown. On deck, number 10, J.D. Thompson. No balls and 2 strikes. On the third baseman, Wade Williams. Brown to the plate. That one stretches out a little bit too far, and it's 1-2. Shadows all the way to the pitcher's mound now, you can see on your screen.
Yeah, it's starting to be a little bit easier to pick it up now that the shadow's going all the way out to the mound. There's just a little bit of the mound that's exposed still.
1-2 pitch from Brown. Got him on the inside corner, strike 3. One down here in the top of the 7th inning. Brings up the pitcher, number 10, J.D. Thompson. He singled his last at bat, but struck out his first 2, 1 for 3 on the afternoon. 369 on the year. Leads the team here for Rusk, and another base hit puts them in a good position. Brown comes set on the way. Good breaking ball, but misses just a little bit outside. Thompson almost offered at that one, Coach.
Looks like we're going to get a pinch runner over at first base.
Looks to be number 8, Trey Devereaux. He is going to go in and run for Landon Gates.
You know, like you said, the one run means a lot right here, and if it's being able to take an extra base or being able to advance an extra base on a ball that gets away from the catcher a little bit, so all those things are going to matter here when you're trying to catch one more run.
1 ball and no strikes to J.D. Thompson. Devereaux off of first. You sometimes will see a pickoff move over here to first just to see if you can't get somebody leaning a little. 1-0 pitch, fouled off, dribbled over here behind the backstop. It'll be 1-1. Coach McMurray looking over at Devereaux. Devereaux, the junior outfielder for Russ. There's the pickoff move I just talked about a minute ago. Stewart keeping the tag on him right there. See if he may pull his foot. Devereaux, good job, calls time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Thompson.
Devereaux not an extremely big lead over there, but he may be a kid that has a lot of foot speed, doesn't need a big lead.
Rusk with a 4-3 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Wyatt Viatrek started it out. Braden Brown has come in for Sinton. Breaking ball, that one stays in. It'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. Thompson just turns his shoulder on that one. Kind of what you talked about earlier. Any opportunity to get on is a big one right here, and Rusk's got a base runner on at first.
Yeah, next guy up mentality. You got to figure out a way to get the next guy up, and that's what they're trying to do right here.
2 balls, 1 strike. That ball misses outside, 3-1. On deck is Terrence Sunday. He had a single his last at bat.
Pitch just slightly off the outside of the plate right there. The Sinton umpires were wanting a strike right there. Obviously, Rusk agreed with the umpire.
3-1, big swing from J.D. Thompson, comes up empty, and it's 3-2. Full count, payoff pitch. Action pitch, as they call it right here. Runner at first, may be moving, maybe not. Trey Devereaux, the pinch runner for Landon Gates. Brown comes set. He is not on the move, and it's going to hit J.D. Thompson in the back. It won't matter. So all of a sudden now 2 base runners on, Coach, and they're both on hit by pitch here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, we always talked about it in the first game, talked about in this game as far as generating offense for your opponent, and that's kind of what they've done right here by hitting batters or walking people. Is you're generating offense for your opponent, and so they put 2 guys on. Coach Alanese is going to go out there and talk with his pitcher and kind of talk about a plan, what they got to do right here with 1 out.
Mason Trowbridge, the freshman, will run for J.D. Thompson at first base. Earlier we saw Jackson Dowling, but this time it'll be Mason Trowbridge. Stepping to the plate will be number 24, Terrence Sunday. And I agree with you 100%. Free passes, unfortunately, come back to haunt you. We saw it in Game 1, Pleasant Grove versus Stephenville, and now we're kind of slowly seeing it here in the top of the 7th inning.
I had a coach that I coached with a long time, Tommy Parker, said there's no defense for walks.
That's right.
So,
I think I've heard that before.
Yeah, and you probably heard that from me whenever you played for me. But,
years and years, over 20 years ago now.
Yeah, well.
Man, I'm getting old.
There's still an old cliche, and it's still a good one, and it still holds true. So
baseball will always hold time It's the one sport that it may change a little here and there, but the old cliches are always valid.
That's exactly right.
And you cannot defense a walk, that is for sure. Terrence Sunday will step into the box. He's got one walk. He also has a single his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. Had a deep fly ball to center field. Rene Galvan tracked down earlier. 2 runners on. In the turf, Rylan Galvan, a great job of blocking that one right in front of him. Trey Devereaux down at second. Mason Trowbridge down at first.
Nobody active in the bullpen. That doesn't mean that they're not going to make a change, because they can always bring a
fly ball hit towards the second baseman. Gonzalez right in the
infield fly.
Infield, and there it is. 2 down now here in the top of the 7th inning, and it brings up Brett Rawlinson.
Your outfielders in this situation here are going to play a little bit shallower than what they may normally play. Because you're telling those guys, and on a base hit, they're going to send that runner from second. They're not going to try to put multiple hits together to score a run. Hits are at a premium right now anyways, and so they are going to send that guy from second base on a base hit, and those outfielders need to be in a situation where if they field a base hit that they can throw a guy out to plate.
Rawlinson 0 for 3 on the afternoon. A hit right here gives some insurance to Rusk. Strike 1 on the inside corner from Braden Brown. Can hear the noisemakers in the background. Excitement is building here in the top of the 7th inning. Rusk 4, Sinton 3, 2 runners on. Hit towards left field. McCoy was up with it. Devereaux around third. He's going to try to score, and he will. Rusk takes a 5-3 lead. Trey Devereaux, the pinch runner for Landon Gates, immediately, as you said on the ball, he is off and running, and you see why they picked Trey Devereaux to run.
Yeah, he can run. He can really, really run. And so, that's the reason why you have kids like that they may not do anything but run the bases, but they got foot speed, and he is one of those guys that can really, really run and did a good job of getting a good jump on the ball and rounding third base, made a good turn and got home. And, exactly what we talked about. The guy was, he's going to send him no matter what happens on a base hit.
2 runners still on. Brown, that ball's hit up the middle. Galvan moves to his left. Trowbridge will come around third. McMurray's going to send him as well. Throws off line. Another run for Rusk, 6-3. RBI single for Zach Blackman. Didn't even get to announce him. He swung so fast. Runners will still be at first and second. Excellent job right there again from Mason Trowbridge, the freshman, for the Rusk Eagles.
They have an injured player on the field, and they're going to go.
They're going to tend to him real quick. We're going to throw it to a break real quick. We'll be right back here with the top of the 7th inning. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Happens to be the one.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Trust me, I know Creole. And this is the real deal.
Oh, yeah. Tony Chachere's
Makes everything taste great.
Top of the 7th inning, back here at Dish Falk Field. Jared Robinson, Coach Dane Saucier here with you on the NFHS Network for Wednesday afternoon baseball. It's been a fun one. It's been a good one here so far. Rusk leads 6-3 over the Sinton Eagles. Jesse here, our camera extraordinaire, in the booth with us from a beautiful evening, 90 degrees pretty much all day long here in Austin, Texas. And Coach, Rusk has come up with some big hits here in the top of the 7th inning. It started 2 hit-by pitches, Landon Gates and J.D. Thompson. J.D. Thompson was hit by a pitch with 2 strikes, by the way.
Right.
And then Brett Rawlinson and Zach Blackman. And you talk about it a lot, timely hitting.
Yeah, 2-out RBIs. 2-out RBIs are just, they're disheartening to a defense. They're just huge pickups for an offense. And so, we talked about them in series that you and I have done before. We talked about them in series we did this past weekend. We talked about them in the first ball game there early in the ball game whenever the game was still close. But, it's a big key situation. The teams that get those 2-out RBIs are usually the teams that advance in the playoffs. In this situation, they're going to advance, possibly advance to play for a state championship and give themselves a chance to win a state championship. And so 2-out RBIs are huge, and they're big lifts for your ball club.
Between the timely hitting of Rusk here in the top of the 7th inning, and then, of course, we've talked about J.D. Thompson settling in. He gave up the 2 in the top of the 1st inning, and then on the 1 in the top of the bottom of the 1st, I apologize, and then 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. J.D. Thompson has looked pretty good. He's not on his average number of strikeouts, but he does have 6 on the afternoon, as the young man who was injured is getting a standing ovation, as he should right here at Dish Falk Field. Next up for the Rusk Eagles will be number 31, Lane Gilchrist. Then back to the top of the lineup for Will Dixon.
We're never going to speculate on any type of injury from where we standpoint, but it's good to see the young man walking off the field kind of on his own power, and get some teammates going to go out there and help him get off the field, and we've got a new center fielder in the game.
Yep, Aiden Lozano will check in the outfield. I think he'll be out in left field.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to be in left
Caden
field.
McCoy may squeeze over to center field, and then in right field, Cannon Chester.
I'm sure Braden will take a couple little tosses to make sure he's still good and loose, and then we'll get back to action.
Lane Gilchrist will step into the box. And I would imagine Coach McMurray is going to come down here and just have a real quick conversation with the head home plate umpire, Rob Walsh. I'm with you. I thought Braden Brown may take a couple throws right here, as we've seen a little bit of a break, a couple minutes here. They're going to get a pinch runner.
Number 9.
Mason Trowbridge, again.
Another freshman.
Now, Mason Trowbridge scored just moments ago.
Well, he was probably used as a courtesy runner.
He was
earlier,
for J.D. Thompson.
And now he's being used as a pinch runner.
There it is.
Once he's used as a pinch runner, then he'll be done.
Glad you're here.
There you go.
I wouldn't have known what it was. So the courtesy runner, Mason Trowbridge, is now the pinch runner, Mason Trowbridge. He is in for Zach Blackman. Brett Rawlinson at second base. At first is Zach Blackman. Now Lane Gilchrist into the box. First pitch to Lane. Strike on the outside corner.
Can't say enough for Rawlinson and Blackman on the 2-out RBIs and big key situations and getting their team to extend this lead right here.
Big swing right there from Gilchrist. Comes up empty, 0-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. 6-3, Rusk leads over the Sinton Pirates. 0-2, 2 outs. Braden Brown set. Gilchrist fouls it back to the left-hand side. We'll do the no ball, 2 strike count again. 6:32 here in Austin, Texas at Dish Falk Field. The winner of this advances to the state championship tomorrow. 6:30 start time, I believe, for that game. 0-2 pitch from Brown again to Gilchrist. That one's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We'll just be throwing out the first pitch tomorrow night.
Yep, that is true.
About this time.
Gilchrist.
Still 9 degrees.
1 for 2 on the night. They probably will be, too. Brown set. Trowbridge out at second. Blackman at first. Gilchrist hits a ground ball. Mitchell at shortstop. He's up with it. Fires it over to first. Stewart's got it. Rusk puts 2 across in the top of the 7th. Sinton, 3 to tie, 4 to win. Bottom of the 7th, a chance to advance to the state tournament or to the state championship. You're watching Texas High School Playoff Baseball right here on the NFHS Network.
For all the ways you love